In the top stories, government hosts land regularization ceremonies, Nevis celebrated World Food Day 2025, and National Assembly meets on the 17th of October. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is 16th October 2025 and I am Jasmine Thomas. The government has taken another step toward empowering citizens through land ownership. Today, the Ministry of Sustainable Development held the first in a series of land regularization handing over ceremonies. At the ceremony held earlier today in Lagrit, members of the community officially received their documents of ownership, signifying a new chapter for residents who were previously informal occupants. The event marked the first of 3 such ceremonies to be held this month under the government's land regularization program. Minister with responsibility for sustainable development, Dr. Joyelle Clark, described the occasion as deeply meaningful and life-changing, emphasizing that it represents far more than a legal process. It is an act of community empowerment. The second ceremony is set for 4:30 this afternoon in New Amsterdam, while the final one, representing the first of 3 phases for Upper Monkey Hill, will be held on Friday, 17th October at 4:30 in the afternoon. Officials say the program will continue to expand as part of the ministry's wider efforts to regularize squatter settlements and prevent similar situations in the future. The Ministry of Sustainable Development says the ceremonies symbolize not just the transfer of land, but the strengthening of communities and the nation's commitment to sustainable living. Stay tuned to ZIZ News for more on this story. And Nevis joined the rest of the world in observing World Food Day 2025 under the theme Hand in Hand for Better Foods and a Better Future. Minister of Agriculture on Nevis has called for continued collaboration and partnerships to strengthen food security across the island. World Food Day, first established by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in 1979, is observed every October 16. It serves as a reminder that millions of people around the world still go hungry despite advancements in agriculture. This year's theme emphasizes the need for unity across governments, communities, and organizations to transform food systems and ensure healthy diets for all. It also marks the FAO's 80th anniversary and is guided by the 4 betters: better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. The ministry noted that while Nevis has made steady progress toward becoming more food secure, the journey requires teamwork. He urged continued collaboration with local farmers, fishermen, schools, and regional partners such as CADI, AICA, the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the University of the West Indies. The ministry also underscored the importance of climate-smart farming practices, responsible waste management, and sustainable approaches to agriculture and fishing. As part of this year's observance, residents are being encouraged to grow more of what we eat and eat more of what we grow. World Food Day 2025 highlights the shared responsibility of all citizens to ensure a healthier, more food secure future for Nevis and the wider world. The National Assembly will meet this Friday for its next sitting as the government continues advancing its good governance legislative agenda. The order paper for the next sitting of the National Assembly has been issued. The session is set for Friday, 17th October at 10 in the morning in the National Assembly chambers at government headquarters in Bastille. 1 bill will be debated at this sitting: Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, National Security, Citizenship and Immigration, Health and Social Security, Dr. Terence Drew, will move the second reading of the Eastern Caribbean Citizenship by Investment Regulatory Authority Agreement Bill 2025. The legislation received its first reading earlier this month on the 6th of October. The government says the move reinforces its commitment to transparency, accountability, and the rule of law as part of its broader good governance legislative agenda. Friday's sitting will be broadcast live on ZIZ Radio 96 FM and participating radio stations. Viewers can also watch the proceedings on ZIZ Television Channel 5 in St. Kitts, Channel 98 in Nevis, and online at zizonline.com. Copies of the bill will be available on the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service website at www.sknis.gov.kn and on the agency's official Facebook page. Coverage of the National Assembly sitting will also be carried live right here on ZIZ Television and Radio. And now for a look at regional news. Suriname is fast becoming one of the Caribbean's most promising new energy frontiers, with major oil discoveries setting the stage for a major economic transformation. Paramaribo, Suriname, the South American nation, is emerging as a rising star in the global energy market, thanks to a string of major offshore oil discoveries that have revealed an estimated 2.4 billion barrels of recoverable oil and about 12.5 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. Between 2025 and 2027, at least 10 new wells are expected to be drilled in Suriname's section of the Guyana-Suriname Basin, marking what experts call one of the fastest growing exploration and development efforts in the hemisphere. The centerpiece of this energy surge is Block 58, operated by Total Energies and APA Corporation. Their joint Grand Morgu development, set to produce first oil in 2028, is expected to yield around 750 million barrels with a daily capacity of 220,000 barrels, the largest industrial investment in Suriname's history, valued at over $10 billion. Grand Morgu is being hailed for its environmentally conscious design, featuring zero routine flaring gas reinjection and all-electric floating production unit aimed at minimizing emissions. Momentum is also building in nearby blocks 52 and 53, where operators Petronas and Total Energies have made additional discoveries, signaling the potential for a cohesive, large-scale oil province along Suriname's coast. As the country prepares to host the first ever Caribbean Energy Week, scheduled for the 30th of March to April 1, 2026, Suriname is poised to showcase not only its vast hydrocarbon resources, but also its growing ambitions to lead the Caribbean's energy future. With responsible production practices and strong international partnerships, Suriname's journey from exploration success to regional energy powerhouse is now well underway. We now look at international news. And reporter track in Washington, a political stalemate continues to grip the U.S. government as Senate Democrats prepare once again to block a Republican-backed spending bill. For the 10th time, Senate Democrats are expected to reject a stopgap funding measure aimed at reopening the federal government. They remain firm in their demand that Congress address health care subsidies under the Affordable Care Act before any deal moves forward. The repeated votes have become a daily routine in the Senate, highlighting the deep divisions on Capitol Hill. The standoff has now stretched beyond 2 weeks, forcing hundreds of thousands of federal workers to stay home without pay and leaving the legislative process virtually at a standstill. Democrats argue that millions of Americans, including small business owners, farmers, and independent workers, could face steep increases in health insurance premiums if subsidies aren't extended. They are pressing for guarantees before agreeing to reopen the government. Meanwhile, House Republicans have already left Washington with no clear plan to return to the negotiating table as the November 1 deadline for new insurance rates approaches. Pressure is mounting on both sides to reach an agreement. With no compromise in sight, the partial government shutdown continues, leaving millions of Americans caught in the political crossfire. And now for the weather. A flash flood watch is in effect for low-lying and flood-prone areas of Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, and the British Virgin Islands, valid until 4 o'clock this afternoon. A flash flood watch means that moderate to major floodings is possible, but not imminent in the watch area. Flash flooding is a very dangerous situation. Residents in low-lying and flood-prone areas should make preparations for flooding to safeguard life and property. They should be prepared to move to higher ground if flooding remains. If flooding rains develop or a flood warning is issued, a persistent trough over the northeast Caribbean is influencing the weather over area, causing periodic heavy showers and thunderstorms. Already, radar estimates have shown over a 2-inch has fallen in some places in the last 6 hours, and another 2 to 4 inches or more are likely in the next 12 hours. Hence, minor flooding of low-lying and flood-prone areas is expected. Stay tuned to ZIZ News as we continue to monitor the weather situation. And that brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.